Morning. Thought I might just do a little review of my new rimfire this morning. Got to bear with me on the quality and the lagginess because I'm filming it from a webcam because I don't have a camera. Here we are. This is my new rifle. Well, new as of 3 weeks ago. This is the Anschutz model 1517 in 17 HMR. Fantastic little gun. First of all, the stock. As you can see, it's I'm pretty sure it's walnut. It's stained. It's got some pretty good checkering, which I like. Admittedly, it's all laser cut, but that's not really an issue. It's really nice and sharp, and when you're prone, it really does give you that bit of extra grip that you'd be lacking if the stock was smooth or it just had crappy checkering. It's a sporter stock, as you can see, which I opted for over the thumb hole, really just because it gives you a better range of grip options. I also don't like a very upright pistol grip. I know this is relatively upright compared to some rifles, but on my old English shotgun, obviously it's got the straight hand grip, which I like. It's also got a pair of sling swivels on there, which is neat. I haven't actually got a sling for it at the moment. I'm still waiting for that to come in from the importers. I'll just move on to the actual rifle. Before we should do anything with the actual rifle, we should check that it's safe. I know you've heard this a million times, but you should always do it. Now, I know it's not unsafe. That's because the gun is not cocked, and I can't actually put it on safe because of that. To check that it's safe, we'll open the bolt, pull it to the rear, have a look inside the chamber, see there's nothing in there. Remove I know I can see there's nothing in the magazine, but we'll just remove it anyway and just prove to you that there's nothing in there. Put it back in there. I also like to store my guns decocked, so you're not putting any tension on the firing spring all the time. So you just push the bolt forwards, pull the trigger and close the bolt, and you can see that's decocked the action there. As far as the bolt removal goes, I know on the CZ rifles you just have to pull the trigger and the bolt comes right out. With this one it's a little bit more tricky. See that little tab on the side underneath that scope mount? Well, you've got to push that forwards and pull the trigger and pull the bolt, and it comes out. For some reason it's a two-piece design. Whoops, like that. That is the firing pin. Alright, focus again. Come on, idiot, stupid. There we go. That's the firing pin there. We'll just leave that in. I don't really normally bother with taking the bolt apart. Actually, I don't at all. I just give it a wipe down after I finish with it. To put it back in, it's the same procedure. Pull the trigger, push that thing forwards, and push the bolt forwards. Righty ho. The bolt, it's really nice and smooth. That's probably down to the fact that it's supported pretty much along most of its length at any one time in its travel, and it's really nice and smooth. It strips rounds from the magazine pretty well. Talking of the magazine, how you remove it's a little bit tricky. I know with the CZs there's a little button at the front where you just pull that backwards and the magazine drops out. With these though, you've got to pull that little catch there, hold it down all the time you're removing the magazine, which is kind of a pain in the ass, but it's not a huge problem. Problem is though, it only holds 4 rounds, which is a little bit tedious if you've got to keep on reloading it, because also it makes a noise, it'll clicky and clunky, scare the rabbits off. But I don't suppose that's a huge massive problem. The safety, fine going forwards, a little bit stiff going backwards. I can live with that. That's fine. It's not really a huge issue. I mean, you can hold it down. You can make it pretty quiet when you're moving it forwards, like that, so you won't scare the rabbits off. The trigger is really, really nice and smooth. I won't dry fire it now, just because I don't really like doing it. I normally have in my shotguns, I have snap caps so I can release tension on the firing pin spring, but because I can decock this, I don't bother dry firing it. It's really, really nice and crisp. There's a tiny bit of creep, but not really anything to really worry about. That's one thing I didn't like about the CZs. So I'll say this is quite a bit more expensive, but you do get that hugely improved trigger. For some reason they decided to rivet as well. Rivet. It's alright. Not really a fan of it. It gets a little bit tiring on your finger if you're waiting for your target to pop its head up or whatever, or you're trying to get your breathing right, and you got that trigger there and you're just about to slip the shot through, and it kind of gets a little bit annoying, but not a huge problem. What else? Barrel. It's 18 inches long. It's quite a heavy profile. I think quite a lot of these rimfires are these days, and it's threaded for a sound mod. This is just the muzzle, the cap that protects the screw threads. For some reason Anschutz decided also to extend the barrel slightly, but the rifling finishes where the end of that cap is there, so you got like an extra tube that protects the crown, which is kind of a good idea, I think. Its accuracy, alright. I'm a little bit disappointed. It does about an inch at 100 yards, with Federal premium, I think it's V-Shock 17 HMR stuff, which is the best.